everybody. Welcome to Career Highlights. We have our own program manager with us today from Lead the Way, Mr. Anthony Murphy, and the Mr. Derick Alexander. What's up, y'all?
How's it going?
How you doing?
All right, so we're going to find out who's on with us. We're going to do a quick temperature check. We see we have a few folks on. If you're on, please share a like. So tell us if you're a student by placing a heart emoji in the comments, a parent by placing a smiley face, an educator with a thumbs up, a community partner with the gift box in the comments. We need to know who's with us. Make sure you're able to also and prepared to ask any questions in the comments. I believe Mr. Derick is taking questions throughout the whole time. Listen, if you're interested in fitness, health, wealth, entrepreneurship, he's your guy. So let's see if we got any comments. I know we had Brandy on. So one of our coaches is already on, Miss Brandy. If there's anybody else, please drop that in the comments. And some of the music you're actually hearing is from our students from this past summer. I forgot what group. It was Sound Beats, was it?
Zone Beats.
Zone Beats. That's what it was. Yeah. So this summer, Mr. Anthony, I had the opportunity to work on a project for their summer internships, and we all had a site, and this is some of the music from that. So this is something, I think he's 11th grade or 10th grade. I can't remember the young man's name off the top of my head. I apologize. But listen, I guess we don't have that many people just at the moment, but we're going to just jump right in and let Mr. Anthony introduce Mr. Derick and what we're going to talk about tonight.
Right. I haven't shown my face since the first one, but I wanted to show my face again to introduce Mr. Alexander. I've watched him since he was a high school student, college student. Worked out with a gentleman named Corey Ray, who did like the physical training, which he does now. But he's had an opportunity to play college ball, professional ball. Now he's a trainer, entrepreneur, and he does it the right way. And he's built Hope Fitness into this brand. It's a real family. I'm proud of him. Columbus born. So at the end of the day, whenever a Columbus guy does it big, you got to show love to him. I think it's a big story for our kids. I'm excited for him to share his story because it's just about being genuine and hard work and what it can build for you. So, Derick, man, glad to have you on. Thanks for coming and spending time with us, man.
Thank you guys for that. That means a lot. Thank you, man.
So we got some people on. So tell us what made you go in your line of work. So the folks that may not know you, like Mr. Anthony, apparently he got a little insight that we didn't know about. We didn't have that. Right. So you got to get the rest of us up to speed.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly though, what kind of helped me with this career path was seeing how many kids we have in the city that don't have that guidance and that the actual mentorship. And I wanted to, just be a blessing, you know what I mean? So it started with just seeing kids with so much talent that goes to the streets or goes somewhere else. And I wanted to just kind of help, guide that direction, and started for free. We would go to a high school, Briggs High School, and train kids for free just to kind of keep them off the streets.
So did you find how many kids were you doing at the time when you were at Briggs? What year was this, if you don't mind me asking?
2011. Okay. I was playing football at the time, but I was coming home in the summer. Well, so I was home around from June to about January. And so every summer we would just do, just like little free workouts. And by 2012, we got our own facility.
And on average, how many kids did you have coming?
We started with like 4 or 5, and then it built to like 30, 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm pretty sure some of those kids are still like very much involved in some way or some fashion. Like they've never left, or they're actually training now themselves, or being a trainer rather.
Definitely. It's crazy that you see so many kids that, like, not saying I'm, the guru or anything, but just to kind of see them follow in the same footsteps and have people that say, hey, you taught me everything and I want to be a trainer as well. So yeah, I've had a few alumni that became trainers too.
You know what's really dope about that? We know in the African-American community, particularly, health is a big factor. And the fact that you're working with youth at a young age to not just with the fitness component, but the health, the eating habits, that they're also able to take that back home. Like, Mom, your water intake needs to increase. Put the soda down or the pop down or the juicy juice, the Kool-Aid with the extra sugar. You know what I mean? Like, you're able to give that to them at an early age so they can value their body.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that's
health as well. You know what I mean? You gotta take care of your body.
Now, out of curiosity, have you had any nutritionists come out of this? Out of like anybody really get into the nutritional aspect, like the food aspect and understanding the calorie counting and
I have. So I've had a few, like, you know, because we used to do boot camps too. So I've had
okay.
ladies I used to train that weren't the healthiest. That became, next thing I know, they got meal prep companies and all type of stuff. So yeah, we have.
So what meal prep? So you had a meal prep company kind of come out of some of the. Which
Right,
one? You got
right.
to tell us.
So her name was Aaliyah Dash. I want to say it's Dash, a little bit Dash, something like that's Dash Meal Preps. So you might want to check her out. I know.
I do because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not about to. I don't have time, so I was looking.
Right, right.
I
It
don't
helps. It
have,
helps.
wow, that's awesome. So not only are you building trainers, you're also building like meal prep companies, which go hand in hand. That's dope. So share your educational and career journey to where you are now. Like I know you just kind of started. You well, not just started, but you started right after you finished playing pro or whatever. But
right.
Give us a little. I know Mr. Anthony kind of already gave us a little bit, but get a little more in detail for everyone who may not know.
Yeah, so actually my degree was in health and sports science, but I think the main for me, I didn't know I would be a trainer. I thought I was going to go into medical sales.
Really?
I remember being at my sister was a nurse, and leaving high school, and this guy came in looking just swaggy, you know what I mean, a nice little suit on. I'm like, "What you do, man?" And he was in medical sales, making six figures. So I thought that was the path. I'm like, "Okay, that's what I want to do." And God had different plans, you know what I mean? So
medical sales?
yeah,
Really?
I promise. That was my dream job. And then
really?
This is my dream job. You know what I mean? It's crazy, like how sometimes you think you got a plan for your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, God gotta, you know, he redirects you. You know what I mean?
So did you ever get an opportunity to do any sales to where you really decided it wasn't it, or you just literally just started this and you just never even touched it?
I never touched it. It was like when I was training, I was overseas playing in Europe. So I played in Italy for 3 years.
Okay.
And, when I got done in the process, I was like, man, I want to help kids like get here. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a different country playing professional football, getting paid. There's so many kids that need to experience this. And I just went right into it.
Wow. So tell me about what made you even go into playing football? What made you just always did it?
Oh, my mom was my biggest motivator when it came down to the sports aspect. Like she was actually my coach. So our neighbor, Mr. Henley, Don Henley, he used to pick me up, take me every day. My mom was at every practice to where he's like, man, you might as well come coach with us. So she was the defensive coordinator for my little league football team one year. Yeah. Yeah, so she didn't play no game. So I'm talking about, I could have a game where I'd have had 5 touchdowns, 300 yards, and she's like, it's okay. Let's do better.
Well, so you had it on both sides, your neighbor and in the house, man.
Yeah, no games.
So what motivates you in this industry of your work? I know it's working with the youth, but like when you decided on the health and science major, I know it was intentionally medical sales, but now where do you see that degree helping you in what you're doing now?
Well, I mean, I guess I would just say for learning the body, first, and learning that, it's not just about going out here and just throwing up weight, but doing it in the right way that we don't get injured, that we take care of ourselves, and that we do it in the right, just the right direction. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to have some type of education behind you, that you're not just jumping into anything, not knowing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Now, so you also provide. You're like a You're like a trainer that trains other trainers.
I have. I've had a lot of trainers that when I first had my first facility, especially that will come in and say, "Hey, look, I want to be a trainer. What should I do?" You know what I mean? And kind of just help the process by saying, "Hey, look, man, you want to focus on this as far as the business side, focus on this, focus on this." So at least a dozen have come through, for different guidance things.
So let's talk about the entrepreneurial side of you.
Okay.
How is it running your business? So you've got I know we've got a couple youth. Anthony, I know you said we had some youth from Lead the Way that were interested in being trainers. So we know if you want to be a trainer, there's also this business aspect.
Yeah.
Give us some tips, just break it down. Like everybody sees the glory, but no one sees the story.
They don't see the story. When I tell you, like I said, we were going from parks to like now owning a facility and going in and saying, hey, okay, look, we need QuickBooks. You know what I mean? We need an accountant. We need someone to work on the day-to-day structure. You know what I mean? And then also the hours you put in, you're gonna get what you put in. So this is not a overnight success. You know what I mean? People see the success now and say, oh man, Hope Fitness, y'all don't realize we've been doing this for 10. You know what I mean?
How many years were you in the park so people can truly understand? Out of those 10 years you were in the park?
We were in the park for 2 and then a building since 12. So, you know what I mean? So it was a grind. You know what I mean? It was definitely some nights where some days I'm there from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then I'm trying to build it, but I still gotta go make more money. So then I would leave there and go clean buildings at like my mom's company, and I would do other things to make sure the income was still coming in. I wasn't spending all my money that I was earning for the business. So it's not just bring money in and spend it. No, it's bring money in and save it and keep building and building and then building business credit and building different things. So yeah, it was definitely a process.
Wow. So you were the CEO, COO, CFO. So y'all gotta remember that, like, as an entrepreneur, you wear many hats. And definitely get to the point to where you can actually bring in those people, those subject matter experts to handle those areas, especially the accounting, the finance side of things, because you don't want to be a small business and then getting audited and you ain't got your receipt where you said you was at Red Lobster for a business meeting and you ain't got proof.
No proof. Like
I'm just saying.
I done bought this car. You're like, oh, so did you? Okay, well, show us.
Where is it?
Right.
Wow. Any other things that you want to share with our youth in regards to the entrepreneur side? That I think, you have where everybody wants to own a business and they know what they want to do. But when they see that work, that grit, I like to say, like there's some days you're up till 2-3 in the morning. Like you said, you were doing one job here, still getting up, training folks, so that way you can keep the money that you earn from Hope Fitness into the business to kind of rejuvenate it so you can keep it going. So is there anything else you would want to share with them, like some starting points for them if they're, on the line and they want to know what to do?
Yeah, definitely. I would say, do it the right way. You know what I mean? So if you're serious about it, you can get a business license for, $125. You know what I mean?
It's actually $99. Our lovely, our former Secretary of State, John Husted, reduced it.
That's nice. So then listen, less than a pair of Jordans.
That's what I was going to say.
Start a business. You know what I mean? Like, something that's in your name.
And there's no age limit though.
There's no age limit. It doesn't expire. Why not do that? You know what I mean? So do it the right way. Have something that's yours. You know what I mean? A. B, I would say understand there's going to be some rough patches. Understand there's going to be some trials. And what they say, you keep shooting. You know what I mean? Like listen, you can't. You're playing the game. You won't make any shots if you don't shoot. So if you quit and give up, then it's never going to happen. So if I would have gave up after there was a car that ran into our first building that closed us down. If I would have gave up after that in 2014, it wouldn't be a Hope now, right? So you got to keep going and just don't quit.
And so my question to you, from just business, just thinking business wise, do you plan on franchising by chance?
I've been man, you know what? And I gotta know what that looks like. And that's where I need to take one of them hats off and give it to somebody else, potentially, to see how that looks. But I've had a guy reach out to me from Arizona, Detroit, and North Carolina about franchise. Wow. I just don't, it's my baby, man. Anthony knows, man. Like he said it before, like it's such a family thing. And, we take it personal. It's not just when I call you family, you're really family. There was a guy that I trained. He was 14, and he just had his first child over this past year. And the first birthday, I'm there with gifts, and he's like, "Whoa, what you doing? Come on, man, we family." it doesn't change because you stop my program. You know, we're still family. So I take that personal. You know what I mean? So for me to like give it away, I don't know. You know, you got to have that same love for it.
So maybe not franchising. What about offering, having other branches, branching out, maybe, expanding within past Central Ohio, maybe Dayton.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. We'll do that.
That's good. That is good. So you've already, that speaks volumes what you just said, though, that you have people from other states reaching out to you because they're watching your brand, they're watching your grind, they're watching what you've done through the last 10 years. And they're like, I want a piece of that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's someone who asked a question. We've got a question in the comments. I'm going to put it up. So Clark Marie says, I'm not sure if you said this already, but what is the story behind the name of your business? Is it an acronym?
Acronym. It is.
Okay.
Actually, I let the kids name it.
Did you?
Yeah. So my dad was a big Obama fan. You remember the Obama campaign was big on what? Hope.
Yes, it was.
Right?
Very much so.
We were thinking, okay, let's go with the Hope, right? Let's go with Hope. My dad actually passed away in 2012. So that was going to be the name. That was okay. Look, we were name of Hope. Now we didn't know what Hope was going to stand for. And when the kids said, I think maybe my nephew, higher our potential every day. Every day we want to get better, coach. Every day we're going to raise the bar. So higher our potential every day. H-O-P-E, Hope. I said, let's do it.
That's dope. You let the kids name the business. So I see why you said, no, I can't hand it to nobody else. Like, we don't have a branch, but I ain't about to give you
it's genuine. It's genuine. You can't reproduce it. Like when it's genuine like that. And that's why I said I wanted to be part of this, bringing him on. It's real, genuine. When you see how they are with the kids, when you see how the kids react to them, it's really a family.
That's dope. And within the last 10 years, if you don't mind me asking, I'm a numbers person as well. How many youth do you believe so far, or hours that you've put in? Maybe just last year alone, because I know with well, maybe not last year, or maybe 2019. How many hours with the youth would you say your company has done with training the youth? You haven't counted your hours?
I can't even imagine because, even so when COVID happened, my wife actually, blessed me and allowed me to come home and train in my basement. So hours, when I say hours, I mean, it became like the hub, from Malik Harrison, who plays for the Ravens, Baron Browning, who plays for his Ohio State grad, and he's in this year's draft, Brian Osmo. I mean, the list goes on of different guys who were there every day in my basement. So,
so you're not just training the youth, you're also training
college and professional. Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't say that. How you?
Well, here's the go. The question was, you was like, has anybody made it to be trainers?
Oh, right, yeah. but I asked you didn't tell me that you. When I asked you what you did and how you did it, you didn't say nothing about professional. You glossed over that.
Right. So we've been very blessed to have a few guys get a chance at the NFL.
Congratulations.
Charles Holland was our first NFL guy with the Bengals 2 years ago. And then last year we got our first draft pick. So, to be there sitting next to Malik, when he got drafted was an amazing experience. You know what I mean? It's almost like, for me, a dream come true. You know what I mean? And I think, now, we kind of talk about the gym that it has to be a reoccurring thing. You know what I mean? So he kind of led the way. And now, we kind of got that feel of it. And so we want that every year.
Wow. Now, like I said, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Great work. Like that speaks volumes. And if that was last year, that was still in the middle of COVID. So again,
it was.
Like if anybody can make it through COVID and get something like that, you're like, anything else is easy. You get draft picks in the middle of a pandemic.
And then trying to find a way to have a draft party with people. You know what I mean? Without getting the cops caught on us, and you know what I mean. So
that's true. That would have been
tough.
A violation. You may have been seeing Judge Mingo, who was on here a couple weeks ago. That probably would have fell in her court.
Right.
Well, before we go, I don't know if there's any other questions that we have, or Anthony, anything else you want to ask before we ask our final question. What three things would you leave with our youth as they begin to enter the workforce and develop their career? And then, of course, if anyone else has any more questions, we will take those as well.
The three things for me, I would say, A is educate yourself, right? So whatever craft you're going into, whether it's, whether it's a trade, whether it's media, whether it's, you want to get the education behind it to where you know what you're doing, because, they sometimes downplay us. And I don't want to say, just black folks, but so we want to make sure that we're coming with some knowledge behind what we're doing. Number two, I would say that you pick something that you love, that you go to work knowing that this is either A, changing the world, or B, it's not really a job. You know what I mean? And then the last thing it would be is have fun. You know what I mean? Life is short, man. You know what I mean? So when we're going into the workforce, have fun with it. You know what I mean? And love it.
Yeah. Well, you all heard it. Someone has another question. Do you only do training for football? Any other sports?
No. So we've trained soccer teams. We have females that come. So we've done volleyball, we've done soccer, we've done track. We also do boot camps for women's, our women's class.
You be just skipping over stuff. I'm gonna have to watch you.
Hey, I'm just answering the question.
You were like, I opened it up to like soccer teams. Y'all keep asking questions because he keep adding to his list.
I want to go ahead and ask Derick a question real quick. So the one thing I want to speak to, I know a lot of times people, when they're starting their own business or they're starting off, they can look at what other people have. And I think the thing that's important about what you did, you talked about training in the parks, and then you went to the one location and now you're in a bigger location. But no matter where you were, you guys were still successful. You still train those kids you train in the park. Some of them are D1 athletes, NFL players now. So you still train the same way. Just kind of speak to that on how you stay focused and not worry about what the next man has, but you still are, you have that same work ethic and build what you build.
Definitely. And it's funny you asked that question, because I actually was my when I read the questions earlier, that was my third point, was be a sponge, right? Like there are always gonna be people in front of you kind of led the way, right? So don't disregard those people, but learn from those people. You know what I mean? So don't see it as competition. See it as, okay, well, what can I learn from Anthony and what they did back in the day? You know what I mean? Like let me take the positives, the negatives and everything from it, and just be a sponge with it. So I would definitely say, take from people, ask questions. You know what I mean? We always I always tell the kids, man, for my own personal career, let me be a test dummy for you. You know what I mean? Like allow what I, the different mishaps and different things that I went through, be a test dummy. So then you come behind and you don't see it as a negative. You see it as, okay, well, I'm just going to avoid that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go this way. So yeah, just stay positive. People are going to come and go, and as long as you focus on what you got to do and love what you do so much that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who comes and what competition comes, because you're doing it for the right reasons. God's gonna play everything out anyway. You know what I mean? Be genuine in what you do. You know what I mean? Like that's a really thing I tell anybody, man. Be genuine in what you do. If you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's going to be seen, it's going to be noticed. When you're genuine about it and you really care about the people you're affecting, and you want to change the world, then it don't matter. Like I said, what happens? A car can run through it. They can shut you down. They can do whatever else. But you're going to keep pushing, and people are going to keep supporting you because they know what it means to you. You know what I mean?
Well, you have somebody on here that said get right or get left, Hope Boys.
Oh yeah, that's one. You know what? That's one of them. Who I was training him, Darion, since he was 14, and he's the one. One of the kids, and now he's a high school coach. He's a teacher. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. So just super proud of these kids, man. I love it.
And then we have a question. We're going to put it up anyway. But Miss Melissa says, do you have a website or where I can find more information about the classes you offer? So I'll put that up next. But definitely let us know what classes and.
Yeah. So we hold our classes every Monday and Wednesday. 4480 Refugee Road. We have our youth class, so ages 5 to 9 at 5 p.m., ages 10 to 13, 14 at 6 p.m., and then the 14 and up is at the 7 p.m. And we also have our boot camps every Tuesday and Thursday.
And you you also do track, correct?
Yeah. So we have a track program called H.O.P.E. I use our facility as well, and it's owned by Tremaine Peppers. He does an amazing job with the kids. He's really passionate about what he does, and so I support that 100%. So,
is that in your facility as well?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, yeah. I would love to. I'd love to one day have a huge facility with a track inside that we can all do it together. You know what I mean?
And you will.
It's coming.
Yes. And if you don't mind sharing, what is your prices and things on the website, or as far as the ranges, so parents that are watching, I think there's a couple people who may want to be interested, or
our it sounds crazy, but every class is $10.
Wow.
Every class, I don't know. That's just me. I don't know. I probably need to change it. I didn't change it by now, don't I? But I can't. I like 10. I keep it at 10. Keep it affordable, and we want to be able to have people who can't afford that to be able to afford it. You know what I mean? So we're working with people as far as getting sponsorships and donations that the kids that can't afford it, they still can come. So
yeah. Well, any closing remarks before we go? Those are great questions, Miss Melissa. Hopefully that gives you the information. I'm also going to put it in the comments why Mr. Derick and Mr. Anthony gives any closing remarks that they may have.
Good, and you got it.
Nah, just thanks for coming through, DA. I love you. I love what you do, man. Appreciate what you do for the community, and thanks for coming through.
I love you too, man. Thank you for this, though. Like I said, when you hit me and said, "Hey, can you do this?" It was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a part of it. So anything that I can help moving forward with your program, please let me know.
For sure. Thank you, man.
So just so you guys know, next week we do have our college readiness on March 3rd, which actually is online on Zoom. I will put that information up on the screen too with our link tree where you can go and actually sign up. I think, Mr. Anthony, you're the one that gets everyone registered. And since I have you on, you're on those. Can you share a little bit of background about what's going on with college readiness and some of the topics that you guys have covered thus far?
Yeah, so we have Dr. Kirsten Fox, who's amazing, and she's bringing in different schools every week. So we've had Ohio State, multiple people from Ohio State. So someone from Fisher College of Business came through. We've had Columbus State, Denison. We talked about the FAFSA, going through that process, financial aid. And so it's just an opportunity for students and parents to get on there and really, get some faces and names with the schools. And sometimes, they're even getting on there, getting resources where this is how you apply. And once you apply, hit me up and I'm going to, keep an eye on your application. So it's just a great resource. It's open to the public, anybody. You don't have to be part of Lead the Way to check it out. So just get on there, check it out. We also put all this stuff online on our YouTube page. So check us out on YouTube, Lead the Way. You can see old episodes of the career highlights and also the college readiness. So check those out. And if you need anything, our contact information is there. You can always hit us up and we'll help you out, get you pointed in the right direction.
Yep. And then also tomorrow, I know that we have some things coming up with the Charles School. So tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., if I'm not mistaken, the Charles School will have their Black History program, and that information will be posted on our social media outlets. So thank you. I know my son loves college readiness. He was telling me about head of household yesterday, and about about my taxes and how that's going to determine his age. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
We're coaching them up.
He's paying attention. I know one youth is paying attention. He's telling me every time I went to college readiness today, Mom, and this is what they were talking about. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Sounds dope. So again, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure you go and like and follow Mr. Derick Alexander. Again, his information is at H.O.P.E on IG and www.hopefit.org. Someone says, thank you for talking with us today. So you guys have a great evening and we'll be in touch soon. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.